and welcome to my channel. I really hope that, let me just begin at the beginning. Yesterday evening I decided to switch my whole setup, or at least sort of switch. Well, it is rather a big difference. Like, the background is still the same, so hopefully it looks sort of the same to you. But I sort of switched stuff around, so lamps are behind my desk now and it will be easier to film makeup tutorials. But I've also finally figured out how to put my microphone lower than my camera. So hopefully the audio will be better, and well, not only the audio itself, like it's a very good microphone, so the audio was hopefully already good. It better be for that price. But anyway, the thing is, I could never let my camera out of focus while filming, unless I would be doing a voiceover, because with the, the microphone is supposed to be mounted on top of the camera, but that way the microphone is like right above the lens, so you can hear it buzzing when it focuses. And unlike the normal background noise, which is constant, like the background noise I can remove, but I can't remove the buzzing of the lens because it's not constant, it's not always the same length, it's not always the same tone even. So that was sort of irritating, so I really hope that with my setup now you won't be able to hear it buzz and I can just let it out of focus on me. But anyway, this video isn't about my struggles with how to put up my filming setup, it's actually about holiday vacation bloopers. Yeah, the holiday season is starting again. Holiday season, that just makes me think of Christmas. Vacation season, summer, you know. Technically I think it has already started. Like, a lot of people I know actually prefer to go in spring and autumn rather than in summer, because in summer it's rather hot and it's more expensive and there's usually way more people. And like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a tourist when I'm on vacation, so I don't mind other tourists. But still, I always try to not pick the most busy time. Because I like taking pictures and I just always sort of feel awkward when taking pictures everywhere with a huge camera. Like, I always bring my DSLR on vacation. Yeah, that's really why I always prefer to go on vacation in spring and summer. Spring and autumn was what I was trying to say. But anyway, I thought this was just a nice period to make a video about vacation bloopers. Which I personally did. Obviously, like, I'm not as mean as to try to tell someone else's bloopers. No, I'll just only make fun of myself. But anyway, yeah, it's also going to be my first story time type of video. I really hope it's going to be at least interesting to watch and not a long boring monologue, because this is really my first time doing something like this. Like, I don't know, I also find it easier to do a video where I'm actually showing something than when I'm just talking, because I always feel like, I don't know, I'm always scared that it will be boring, but we'll see. Like, if I find it too boring, I won't even put it up. Probably, or parts of it, I don't know. I'll make it work somehow. But anyway, yeah, so basically, like, everyone has these vacation bloopers of getting lost, or going out with the wrong people and getting completely wasted. Stuff like that, you know, stuff like what once happened to me. Like, as a child, doors are my enemy. So at some point as a child I was really like panicking, like, I can't get out of this room. And then my mom was like, yeah, you need to pull the door instead of push it. And I felt like a complete idiot. But yeah, I've also thought of a bigger sort of blooper thing that I'd like to share with you. But before that, on my most recent vacation, which when I'm filming this I actually came back yesterday. So yeah, when you see this is actually 2 weeks ago. But anyway, I actually had a blooper that's actually caught on camera. That's the only positive thing about it, that it at least got caught on camera. But I always like going on swings. And this time I decided to jump off the swings. And I already thought I probably shouldn't do this, because like, it was on a hill, so it was sloping down. And it was sort of wet and slippery. So what did I do? My mom said, hey, I'm filming. And I was like, yes, I'll jump anyway. And I jumped and I landed on my feet. And then I slipped and landed on my ass. And now a week later my ass still hurts. It's sort of stupid, really. But anyway, I've got footage of it, so enjoy. Wacht even, ik ga het wel afdringen. Oeh. So now that we got that blooper out of the way, I also have a blooper that's less painful, but sort of longer and, I don't know, to me more sort of funny, because, I don't know, it's just something that's one of my favorite sort of vacation memories. It wasn't actually a true vacation, actually. It was actually a school trip with, yeah, I suppose like it's different in every country, but it was when I was about 17 or 18, I think. Now I feel old. Jeez. Anyways, I guess you could compare it to college. We were on a school trip to France. And yeah, there were actually only 6 students and 2 teachers, because it wasn't something that was like, we didn't have to go there. Like originally we had to go there to learn English in France. I don't know what the big idea was behind that, but we didn't actually learn anything that had anything to do with school, because like 3 of us were from animal department, like animal caretaking school. Not something I recommend doing, by the way, because you really can't get work in that. But anyway, so yeah. The other ones were from greenery, like gardening stuff. But anyway, so there were only 6 students and 2 teachers. It was a very small trip, and I counted as a vacation because we didn't actually learn anything school related. We really just went on like, you know, short trips within like the area of where we were staying in a French school. And, you know, just learned random things about the area. And also learned some things about the Second World War. Because we also went to Omaha Beach and stuff like that. So yeah, it was an interesting trip. But it was more of a vacation than a school trip. And at the first night, I think it was the first night. I'm not sure it was the first night. It was one of the nights. But anyway, we got lost, like a friend and me. We got completely lost. Like we decided to just go take a trip. And just, you know, go walking in the forest around the school. Which was a great idea, but we didn't take into account that 1, it was sort of getting late. Therefore it would go dark. And 2, it was about to start raining. And 3, we didn't know the area. And it was before the era, yeah, of, you know, smartphones with navigation. Like, I don't think either of us had a smartphone. Maybe she already had a smartphone. But at any rate, we weren't yet at a point where you could actually use internet abroad. So, yeah, we had absolutely no navigation and no way of knowing where we were going. We didn't even have an old-fashioned paper map. No, we were just going to walk and we sort of expected not to get lost. So we went off the path, obviously. And, well, there wasn't much of a path to begin with, really. So, yeah, we just walked around there and we saw a lot of interesting things, amongst which was actually a hole in the ground. It wasn't originally a hole until I stepped on it. Yeah, there were a lot of medieval stuffs around and just, you know, there was also something with wood and I stepped over it and almost, well, one of my legs just doink, went through it. Because whenever I encounter something, I just have to destroy it, apparently. It was already broken, for the record, like it wasn't something like official, monumental or whatever. It was just something randomly left in the woods. I don't know, maybe there was a serial killer and they just dumped a corpse there. I really have no idea. I don't read French newspapers because I can't read French. But anyway, I just, you know, stacked through it with one leg. And unlike normal people who would wear old jeans or something while walking in the forest, I was wearing very nice, shiny, black polyester, like, you know, very nice trousers. So, yeah, they got slightly dirty. They got clean again as well, by the way. But anyway, yeah, they got slightly dirty. So, I cursed at the hole in the ground. And I just cursed it for anything I could think of, ending for some reason with Bluebeard. At which point we randomly decided it was probably a medieval hidden grave. It probably wasn't, but, you know, imagination and all. So, for the rest of our walk, we were currently just, at that point, constantly talking about Bluebeard, then it changed to Blackbeard, then we sort of decided that his beard would be like, you know, the dude we just randomly made up in a grave we just randomly made up. That his beard was sort of dependent on the color of the sky, which effectively makes him Santa Claus most of the time. But anyway, yeah, that's not the point. We were walking and walking and walking, and at some point it started to go dark because it was late, and it started to go raining because, you know, it was about to start raining anyway. For some reason we were still slightly surprised about those facts, even though we could have just seen it coming. And yeah, at that point we decided to actually go out of the forest because, well, we realized we didn't have any clue as to where we were at that point. And we decided that being out of the forest and in the village was probably safer than being in the dark inside the forest and nobody knew where exactly we were. We didn't even know where exactly we were, and we didn't want to get raped or eaten by a werewolf, so we decided to go out of the forest and start wandering around the village to try and find our way back to that school we were staying. At some point, by the way, we were standing at I don't even know if it was a road map or something. Maybe it was, but neither of us was apparently very good at reading maps, so it didn't help us at all. A car drove by and we were like, that looks slightly familiar. Next morning, one of the two teachers actually told us that it was him, and he was like, so those two girls were you two? Oh, huh. And we were like, yeah, thanks for stopping and asking us if we were lost. Not. But yeah, anyway, so he drove by without a care in the world and just left us there. So we decided to just start wandering around, figuring it's a very small village, so we gotta get back to the school at some point in time. Like, you know, it's a very small village, even we can't be that bad at directions. It is a very small village. At that point in time, I think they had about 3 roundabouts. We picked the wrong direction at every single one of them. At some point we were on a part where we could like see through a lot of village, like it was slightly higher up than the rest, and on one of the hills we saw mountains, I don't know what they were. We saw I think it was a telephone pole or a lightning pole, I don't know what it was, but it was a long metallic spike. And both of us were like, that wasn't anywhere near the school, was it? No, it wasn't. So we walked to the exact other direction, and I really to this day have no idea how we actually got back to that school at all whatsoever. Also, the entire time we were laughing about absolutely nothing, like we thought it was all very hilarious, and we actually walked past the police station. It would have been really, really funny if we would have actually been like arrested for being drunk in public without even being drunk, because we were acting like complete idiots. But yeah, eventually we did find our way back to the school. I have no idea how, because we managed to go into the wrong direction at every single opportunity. But apparently, you know, if you go right 3 times, you have got the same result as if you would have gone left in the first place. So somehow we got back to the school, where the other teacher was smoking a cigarette outside. So yeah, we were like it wasn't like we had any sort of curfew, but it was again late and raining and dark, and it was like 11:30 at night. And yeah, we were like, okay, we're probably in trouble. So we walked up to him and I was like, oh, sir, sorry we're back so late. And he looked at us with like genuine surprise on his face and said, oh, I didn't notice you were gone. So yeah, at that point we were like, okay, so when would you have missed us? Like when we were back in the Netherlands and our parents would have asked where we were. But yeah, we didn't comment on it. We were just happy that we weren't in trouble apparently. Went back inside to find our classmates, like the one of the 3 of us who were in the animal department. And was also within our group of friends, and he was playing poker for gummy bears, rather than, you know, wondering where we had went. So yeah, that was basically our entire trip, and the next morning, obviously, what did we see on the terrain of the school? That friggin' telephone pole. Like, we could have just walked up to there and we'd been fine, and instead we just walked around the entire village and we're still fine, but we were sort of deranged by the time we came back. But yeah, so that's the story of how me and a friend actually got lost in France, found our way back, and just had a very fun memory left forever. Like, yeah, I do think that's just some of the most fun vacation memories. You know, the things that weren't supposed to happen, yet happened, and were funny in hindsight. Actually, it was funny at the moment as well, because, like, it was a small village. It wasn't like a bad neighborhood village. It was surrounded by highways, so we couldn't have gone out of the village without noticing, so we knew we would be fine eventually, but it was still pretty funny. You know, just to wander around there being like, okay, we're probably going to find where we belong, but for now, you know, it's a nice village at night. So yeah, that was my entire story. I always sort of feel like stories like these need to have some sort of big clue. Like, you know, but obviously I didn't get eaten by a werewolf and we didn't get abducted by aliens, so there isn't really much of a clue to it. It's just what it is. But nevertheless, I really hope it was fun for you to listen to, or at least I hope you had fun. Obviously, you can see the footage of me falling on my ass. Yeah, at least there's footage of it. That makes it slightly less stupid for some reason. But anyway, yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. By the way, if you have any, like, fun or whatever, like, vacation bloopers you'd like to share, please do so in the comment section down below, because I'd love to read them. Also, by the way, if you like this video, please click the like button. It would really help me out. And if you want, you can also subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of makeup tutorials mainly. Sometimes shady videos like this, sometimes nail arts, whatever I feel like filming. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope to see you next time. Bye!